All right, good afternoon. Welcome back. We are here at Shadows of Brimstone Roll to Move solo live stream Valley of the Serpent Kings episode 2. But just like we talked about this morning, we did a mission. I love running through missions in Valley of the Serpent Kings. Excited to do that, but the generous folks at Flying Frogs found some stuff that fell off the truck in the form of a preview of some of the Kobari Headhunter stuff. So we're going to get into it with a second mission involving missions from the Kobari Headhunter mission pack. And we saw the ruthlessness of the Kobari Headhunters in the first mission today. We'll catch you up for those of you who are rejoining. Watching the chat to see if there's any chats, just to make sure that I am not talking to myself. A quick summary of this morning's mission. We had two heroes. We had Zoshi Quetzal, the Mastiwelte commoner who has risen to noble status as an eagle warrior in her Altapet. She went on a beast hunt to find some beasts in the wild, searching for particularly large beasts. She found another Mexica warrior, in this case, and his name is Huachilibote, and he is from Tenochtitlan, and he is a rising noble who will one day be the Tlatoani there. And he too was hunting for beasts. And as they moved through the forest on a giant beast hunt, they started to getting an unnerving feeling that they were being watched. They continued their beast hunt, taking down large beasts, comparing their skills versus each other, but eventually coming upon some very ominous ruins with a grim warning written in blood and hanging skulls. Zoshi Quetzal realized that it was true that the Itzcoat, I wrote down a pronunciation guide, but in my head it's written a different way. The Itzcoate? The obsidian snake rumors were true, that the Kobari headhunters weren't a myth and they were real. So they went to run, but the Kobari headhunters ambushed them, and being helped by a particularly strong growing dread card that the community chose to allow to let play, we were downed quickly by the Kobari headhunters. But we intend to not fall for their tricks again, and these two Aztec warriors have been doing quite nicely with their upgrades. At the end of the last mission, I forgot to let everybody know the consequence, which was the unconscious heroes and the ones that fled all gained an additional wound roll on the injury chart or sanity chart. So that went particularly poor for our friends. But while you were at lunch, I took them to camp and they worked on it. Both of them managed to get rid of their injuries. The Huachilipote lost a hand and was not going to be able to use both his shield and his machihuatl at the same time, but got repaired at the doctor. He is a doctor himself, so he was able to help describe the process. So his hand is fixed. And our eagle warrior, Zoshi Quetzal, she was going to no longer get ranged attacks due to her gouged eye, but they put some salve on it, lost all her money, it didn't work, she still has it. And then some strange things in the stars that night gave her a miraculous healing. So the daily event gave her a chance at a 6 roll on a d6 to miraculously heal, and she got it. So she's back. She still will be suffering from the madness that she picked up. She has the "it's coming for you" madness. So anytime we fail the hold back the darkness roll, somebody type "it's coming for you" in the chat, and I will make sure that she hears the voices in her head that are unnerving her. She hears the snakes now that she has seen them in reality for the first time. Zevik, it's your birthday. Give you something. Need to get to the table. So awesome. Yes, this game is amazingly fun. We are going to, I'll give you a quick catch up on what we're doing with our warriors so that those who were not here this morning will be able to kind of know what powers and abilities are going on. If you were here this morning, you can tune out for a second and then we will get into the mission, which is what we're all really here. So that's what you'll get for your birthday. You will get to see things that have not been seen before and experience a mission that has not been run before. So again, this is falling off the truck, so we'll see how much of this, what we see. We did get to see 2 of the Kobari Headhunter traits this morning, so hopefully we'll see some more of those this afternoon. We hit at least 1 encounter. Yeah, we should be able to see the Kobari in action, in addition to all the other fun stuff that pops up. And some of that is new to people watching here, so I will assume that even normal fights are interesting to some people, because, yeah, some of these things I've never fought because they've never come up organically in my play. Okay, let's switch over and take a quick look at our new friends, the Kobari Headhunters. Yes, these were the friends that ambushed, that popped out at the end of last session. So if you didn't get a chance to see these, we'll make sure you see what we're dealing with. These beautiful round shield obsidian swords, proud, regal, held high, coiled, poised to strike. And these are mercenaries, and they are clever and tricky. So they are not ones who are just doing life on the normal. Their whole way of existence is to be ready for fights and to be better at fighting than other serpent men, so that they will be hired as mercenaries. And they apparently even find their way into other worlds. We found out this morning that you can run this mission pack campaign. There's 4 missions in it that all can be strung together to a campaign. You can run it, you can start it in any world, and it'll actually wander from world to world as you run it if you go through portals. So you can have these guys hunting you and crossing thresholds to find their way to you. They are, after all, mercenaries, so I don't know, maybe they've been hired to hunt you down or something. Who has it in for you? What did you do? Shame on you. Let's go to our heroes and check in with this real quick. Also, this is a casual stream, so you're going to see some clunky movements of the camera. You are going to get some, a table or chair leg in the background. You might hear a bird chirping or a dog barking. So we're just hanging out, having fun on a Saturday. Rolling to move, community coming together electronically. One of the beautiful outcomes of what we had to adapt to during the pandemic is this leftover amazing gathering that we get to do every year. So, okay, what are we doing? I got a lot going on here. I'm using some dashboards to help me keep track because I'm wanting to play quickly. Normally, you could just use the standard setup and it would be no problem, but this helps me not have to write anything down and have you wait for me to write it. And I can basically, anything that's not on a card, I can keep track of with the dashboard, and then any tokens I can still put into the side bag and stuff. So I can still function with all the tokens and cards, but then it keeps some of the record keeping in a static state, so I can put it away, bring it out like I did over lunch. Okay, what we have is an Eagle Warrior. There's 3 different starting upgrades you can pick if you're an Aztec Warrior. You can choose the Eagle Warrior, Brutal Combat, or Nimble Fighter. And so for the first one, we chose Eagle Warrior. So this isn't actually a Jaguar Warrior anymore. We've lost the Jaguar armor. We're instead using Eagle Warrior Armored, which increases our agility, our initiative, and our max grit. But at the cost of some strength and some health. Band that gives them more move, and then anytime they don't spend movement on their turn, for every 2 points of movement that they don't spend, they can add damage, and they can do that once per fight. So say I roll an 8 for movement, then that would be 4 unspent, 4 double, 8 divided by 2 is 4, so 4 instances of damage that we could all add, plus 4 damage to 1 hit. Said that poorly, but it came out. What's standard for the Eagle Warrior is that they use a D8 for movement, and they get grit back on a 1 or 2 for a roll. So they have a 25% chance of getting grit every turn, which is nice. And that they can ready a once per fight item. So this Aztec Spear is normally you throw it once during a fight and it's done. It's a nice little D8 to hit. And if you wound something, that thing will have less defense the next round, which we keep track of with the -1 defense token, which ran away. It's around here somewhere. And so we'll be able to recharge that each round with the Eagle Warrior's ready and ability. And that Feather Band is the same thing once per fight. So the Eagle Warrior ability to reactivate a once per fight item each turn could be used on either one of those. So that's what's unique to the Eagle Warrior. Let's do what's unique to the Jaguar Warrior. The Jaguar Warrior has a medicine satchel, allowing them to bring herbs, which are 2d6 healing, and start each adventure with a free healing herb. Oh, so we get another. Oh, I guess we didn't leave. Yeah, so we just have our healing herbs here. That's 2d6 healing. And then they have chosen brutal combat, which means on their turn during a fight, they can roll a d6 to get a 4+ to get some grit back, or they can spend a grit to get 2 extra combat. And whenever they catch their breath, they also get a grit. So that's a very strong advantage to be able to create more dice, combat dice each turn, or potentially get grit back each turn. And because it's so amazing, they lose the Aztec Spear. So only our Eagle Warrior has our spear, and only our Jaguar Warrior can pump up their combat through spending grit. Both of them have Animal Instincts and Fearless Warrior. Fearless Warrior means that whenever they take horror hits, they take 2 fewer hits, which is great. And then whenever they, Animal Instinct allows them to use their amazing reflexes and training and animal warriorship to re-roll a single dice once per turn, and that single dice could either be a damage roll, a to-hit roll, or a defense roll. So a lot of strategy in when you use that. It's especially important because they both only have a defense of 5, so when they're rolling to defend their health, they need to get 5s or higher, and everything else is a 4 or higher for ranged attacks, melee attacks, and willpower. Let's get them back up to their full sanity. They each have 9 sanity. And, Xochitl Quetzal took some permanent wounding from the doctor who operated on her, and she is now at 11 health max instead of 12, so that was unfortunate. But she did get lucky the next day and heal. And then over here we have a 14 health is our max health for our Jaguar Warrior there. Okay, everybody's healed up, everybody has their 1 grit, and we're ready to get into it. I'm sure there's a few things I didn't mention, but feel free to drop it in the comments. Where can one find those amazing character trackers? Those are, sorry, this is not, this is a shameless plug, I guess. Not my intention. My brother and I designed them together. He loves to make things on his Etsy printing shop, and he just kept coming back to me like, we gotta, let's make a better version. Let's pick another one. So we went back and forth for about 6 months tweaking different pieces of this. And so he sells them, or you can either get them or get the LCL file, but he sells them on his Etsy shop, Wayland Co. So they have been fun to see in operation. Oh, it looks like my stream has frozen over here. Oh, thank you. Somebody else answered that, so I didn't have to do that plug. Okay, you have to make the pew pew or chop chop noises when you put the hot toys like that. Okay, and shout Brimstone, the Wayland dashboard. There you go. Okay, yeah, take care of that in the comments. Y'all know where to help each other out and give each other the. I had somebody link me to a way to keep track of all the different status markers. It was great. Well, combining all that information in one spot. Okay, we've got. Also of note is the damage here. There's a special Mark of the Explorer that gives +1 move to Xochitl Quetzal, and that's attached to her Chamali round shield. She also gets an extra 5 XP through looking through doors. So that was a happy discovery in the first mission. We also found something that makes our armor better, but we are Aztec warriors, so we don't rely on armors. We rely on the last 2 things that we need to talk about before we can play. Chamali round shield. Once per turn, D6 roll of 3+ will stop any hit you're about to take. So it's a sweet shield move that can be taken. And then the Machiwado means that our melee attacks of 5 or higher are crits. So we're going to get lots of crits on 5s and 6s. And then we're going to stop the especially nasty hits that are going to hit us by singling them out with our shield. So they're very good in these like tactical little dueling type combats, which is actually a little bit what the Kobari headhunters are about. We'll talk about them when we find them, but we'll jump into the mission now and tell you what's going on. I'm not going to read the mission verbatim because it's a little boring to hear somebody read and try and process it. So I'm going to try and summarize what each of the rule does, and that's a little departure from what we were doing last time. I'll try and get you some visuals. Let me know if we need better light, sound, or camera angle on anything, and I will notice 5 minutes after it's happening and adjust it. Okay, so this second mission is called Deadliest Prey. We realized that we were being watched, and now it is clear that these deadly wilds hold more than just monstrous beasts. Confronted by a new and dangerous type of serpentmen, it would seem that you are now the ones being hunted. Stepping lightly through the dense terrain, you keep your guard up, knowing that an ambush could be waiting around every corner. So these Kobari headhunters are stalking us, and we are moving carefully, making sure we realize that they're closing in, they're closing the noose, and that we need to escape this trap. So slowly the exits and the options to get away are disappearing, and we need to find that one perfect line through the jungle to get out. You have unwittingly stumbled into their snare, and you fear that the noose could be tightening around you at any moment. The best to keep a quick pace if you are to find your way out. So we start on the entrance tile, but you start in whatever other world you ended up in at the end of last adventure. So you can start this campaign in any world, and in this case we're going to stick to the Valley of the Serpent Kings, but this mission would be very different and interesting depending on where the Kobari hunters have been hired to go and get you. Or are they just finding us randomly? Unclear. They are mercenaries. So we are going to start on the standard tile, and our goal is to find a way out before the Kobaris spring all their traps and we lose our heads to the headhunters. It is a Kobari themed adventure. So just like all the other mission packs, you can theme any adventure to become a Kobari adventure by adding this card. But this card specifically is added every time in this mission. And this means that whenever we draw a threat card on a 1 through 3, we will instead get Kobari headhunters. And it means that anytime we draw an encounter card, in addition to the encounter we have, we roll, and on a 1 through 3, we also have a Kobari headhunter challenge. And then finally, anytime we draw a map passage tile, so not a room that has an exploration token, but a map passage tile, we have to roll, and on a 1 or 2, the Kobari are hiding in the passage. They're trapped, they're tightening the noose, and they will ambush attack us. So high probability that we will have multiple Kobari fights as we hit passage tiles. Okay, so that is another piece of this. And then we cannot flee in this adventure. We are being hunted and stalked, so this is not a situation where we're moving into danger and can back out of it. Danger is following us, so there's no fleeing once the adventure starts. Unlike last time where we fled and kept our Jaguar warrior from getting completely decimated and having his herbs taken. Instead, he got away, but not this time. No fleeing. To KO or to the finish line, one of the two. There's no gates. And then additionally, the Hold Back the Darkness roll is always 8+. So it doesn't change based on where the tracker is, the hero party marker is. It will just be 8 for the whole adventure. And we'll put a little 8 on our world card to remind us of that. The world card says that once we go into a deeper part of the track, we take a corruption hit, and that all scavenge cards give us extra money. Lastly, Hunter's Tactics. So, well, here's the objective. Our objective is to find 7 door icons. So basically, we're looking for an escape path. So this isn't a mission where we fight a big thing at the end. This is a mission where we try to survive long enough to find 7 door icons. So we're flipping exploration tokens, which we've shuffled. And as we flip those, we will count and continue to keep track of how many door icons are there. And once we get to 7, then we have escaped and we're good. The gate icons do not count as doors, so we need specifically door icons. And then the 2 things that make this mission particularly fun is Hunter's Tactics and Kobari's Trap. So the hunter tactic that the Kobari are taking is that whenever they start a fight with us, they try to grab our stuff first, or they try to disable something that we're using. So every time we're in a fight with a Kobari, the first thing that happens is at the start of the fight, we shuffle all the gears and artifact cards that a character has. It does not count their personal items or town items, but all your starting items are still counted. So starting items, any artifacts and gear you've collected, it's all shuffled, and one of them is disabled for the fight. So it's basically taken or knocked away or wrapped up or shut down for that whole fight. If you really don't like what happened, it was like, that's my key thing, that's the only way my hero works, you can one time spend 2 grit to reshuffle and draw. So it doesn't even give you a chance to to redraw. Yeah, so you still could potentially lose that same item again. But yeah, 2 grit, only one time chance. You can't just keep spending grit to solve your problems. So that is going to be fun. You could lose your round shield. You could use your spear. These things that my Aztecs are on a razor's edge using to stay ahead of the game. And then the other thing that happens is Kobari traps. Every time we find a clue, a Kobari trap is going to go off, and we're going to roll a d6 to see what is going off. So we'll keep that a surprise as we go. All right, any questions before we get started from chat? Yes, Adam Mitchell, the injury report was that Huitzilopochtli in camp had no problem getting the doctor with a little bit of grit to fix his hand, so he can use the shield and his machuatl at the same time. And then Xochitl had a terrible doctor who wounded her permanently, but then there was a miraculous star shooting the next day, and she got a 6 on a d6 and got her ranged crits back in action. So her gouged eye is gone, so she's good. But she still has the madness, so whenever we fail the darkness roll, speaking of which, she will have some problems. Okay, we're going to get into it. We're looking for 7 door icons. We're trying not to find clues because those are Kobari traps. And every time we have a fight with the Kobari headhunters, they are going to try and use hunter tactics to disable one of our weapons. So we need to find some gear and artifacts so that they can accidentally disable stuff that we're not as dependent on. Because right now we're pretty trim heroes. Okay, we have a chance. We do. And these are not the powered up versions of the Kobari that we found last time. So here we go. Jumping in. 7, which would normally work, but it's 8 for this mission. So that's a fail. And wrong one. And the darkness marker advances. Okay, moving into it, Xochitl. She has enough using her feathered band and her Mark of the Explorer to make it to the edge of the tile. Gets her 10 XP, bringing her to 305. Burial ground for our map tile. We've got some weird things in the water, some crazy things, little gravestones sticking out from between the roots. And we pop in here. Is that too far away on the camera? Do you like the tighter angle, or do you like the little bit more scope? All right, Huitzilopochtli. 1, 2, 3, 4. Coming in for a scavenge. Find something. Oh, loose stones. Let's get a D8 out and see what the loose stones produce. 5. Respite. Heal D3. Any mix. Unnecessary at this point. Oh, those loose stones could have been bad. Got lucky. A little bit further into the jungle. And end of the turn, we flip the exploration token. Hopefully it's not a clue, because that would mean traps. It's an ambush attack. These were shuffled. You saw me do it. Okay. 2 door icons, though. So we have 2. We'll mark that with this big blue dice to keep track of how many doors we found. We need 7. We found 2. Okay, we'll take that. 2 and an ambush attack. Okay. And then for an ambush attack, we draw a threat card. But since it is a Kobari-themed adventure, we will roll on our 1 through 3. It will be the Kobari Headhunters with D3 plus 1 Kobari Headhunters. And comes the roll. Look at that. Now the mission's cooperating. Last time the Kobari Headhunters hid till the final battle, and now they're showing up right away, and we are excited. Quick review of what the Kobari Headhunters do. They move through other models just like other Serpent Men. And the thing that's unique to them is that shield. Their shield block means the first time they would take wounds on a hero's activation, they stop 2 of it. So not for each hit, but in total, they'll stop 2 wounds. And when they roll to hit, 5s or higher do an extra d6 damage. So they only normally do 2 damage, just slicing you with the sword, getting kind of nicking you. But when they really go for it, if they get lucky with their machu blades, they can get some really big, deep damage, which we're hoping our Shumali round shields will stop. The other thing is that if we had armor, 6s or higher would ignore our armor. So, but they, like us, are going to basically get some really good hits on 5s and higher. They do have 3 defense, but only 6 health, and they hit on 3s. Okay, and the other thing is that they receive a Kobari Headhunter trait. It's time. Oh, hello. Good friend, I see you in the chat. And glad you're here. I know a lot of people have to work today, and different streams come on at different times, so you can only come to certain parts. So it's great to see those of you who I always see in the comments, or who I text occasionally, or who I'm in a chat group with. Good to see you. Good to see you, Hassan and Soundwolf. Good to meet you. So last time we let you choose between these, and we got a good look at trophy collectors, and then we talked briefly about bladed shields. So I'm going to let you guys go at it again. You came here to see new stuff in the mission pack. Let's see some new stuff. What are some of the traits that they can have? Would you like to see Ruthless Hiss, Cold Dead Eyes, or Treetop Hunters? These are the Kobari Headhunter traits. Every time you find them, it's a different group of mercenaries, and they can have different abilities. Hey, Nick, hello. We got 1 vote for Ruthless Hits. While those are coming in, I'm going to get our friends out and see how many of them there are. They are ambush attacking. There are 3 of them, just like last time. Zoshi Ketzel is odd. We'll see if she picks up. Yep, she picks up 2 this time instead of Huachilipitle. Huachilipotle. And there we go. Okay, the ambushing is happening. It ain't good. Treetop, Ruthless Hiss, Treetop. Thanks for hosting. You're welcome. Oh, Woody, hello, Treetop. So much Treetop. Hey, Juan, hello. I know that a lot of you are we're streaming on 3 different platforms right now, so I know you can't all see everybody's comments. So every once in a while, I'll throw out comments and names so that you guys know that you are hanging out with a bunch of people, even if they're not in your particular chat. But yeah, we got Juan here, Hassan, Bob, hello, Soundwolf, Woody, Adam, Zeblik, yes, Eric, Patrick. Oh, hello, Patrick. Yeah, so we've got most people saying Treetop, which was the one I wanted to see last round, but nobody wanted it. And Sandwell says it's 11:27 at night there. Good. You're just wrapping up. Even if you don't make it to the end of the stream, or you can fall asleep to my melodious voice complaining about my heroes getting hit. Treetop Hunters is it. Let's move forward. We've got Treetop Hunters. Blowguns. Okay. Treetop Hunters like to attack from range. My suspicions last time were correct. again, these fell off a truck, so I got them very recently, and it's only some of the stuff, and I haven't looked through all of it, so I'm experiencing this with you. Blowguns. At the start of each of its activations, it makes a free ranged attack at a random hero within range, using one shot at range 8, dealing d6 damage. A hero wounded by this also gains a poison marker. Okay, so there's free range attack at a random hero within range. So basically, every time they attack, we're going to do 3 ranged attacks first, randomly, at the start of its activation, so even before they move. And we'll grab this to remind everybody how the poison works. The poison. Those are my side back tokens. Where are my status cards? Okay, well, we remember that poison, every turn you have a poison marker you roll, and on a 6 you get rid of it, and on a 1 or 2 you get poisoned. Did I get it right? Yeah, my pile of status cards is not here. Any chance for monkeys to attack in the jungle? I don't know about these monkeys that you speak of. Okay, these are Treetop Hunters. Okay, let's get into it. Initiative 8, thankfully. Not Initiative 8 and Initiative 3 from their elite ability they got last time. And we're going to hold back the darkness. Am I forgetting anything? Oh, when we failed the hold back the darkness roll, we needed to check for Zoshi Ketzel's. It says, whenever the hold back the darkness roll has failed, including doubles, you take D3 sanity damage, ignoring willpower. What? I missed that part. How does it know your name? You can hear it calling you in the dark. What does it want? It's coming for you. So she's going to take 2 sanity damage, ignoring willpower. So she's down to 7 sanity left. Man, that is going to be rough for her. We got to figure it. She's going to have to do a lot of catching her breath because we don't got any liquid refreshments to deal with that problem. Okay, we're going to roll to hold back the darkness. It's a 7. That's a fail. It's happening to her again. It's happening. Oh, I don't have my... let me know if the sound gets worse or better. I'm switching. I was using these last time, and I thought the sound was pretty good, but I didn't realize I was using a different sound that whole time. So let me know if this is worse, and I will switch back. All right, we'll try this for sound. How's sound now? Check, 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 check. Sound. It works. Okay, sound's back. Sorry about that. That is my fault. Wow, that was off for a while. 344. Good sound. Yep. Okay, great. My apologies. My apologies. Okay, to catch you up, we've spent energy doing this, and then Witch Chipotle decided to use their last animal instinct to try and increase damage here, but didn't get any crits, and that damage increase ended up being a reroll onto a 1. So that 2 wounds that they don't take is really starting to affect the landscape, especially if you don't get a crit. I mean, even when you do get a crit, it's reduced, but if you don't have a crit, then it just makes the amount of damage you end up putting on them very small. So the 6 health is kind of sneaky. It looks like it's going to be an easy job. So it could be if things go super well, but man, it's not working out. Okay, we got 1 off the board. 1's wounded. The round is over. Do they want to do anything tricky like heal? No. It is time to go to the beginning of the next round, and we have They're Coming. They're coming! JD, thank you. Smedley, Liqueur, Liquiteur, great. Todd, wow, so many. As soon as the sound went out, people that I hadn't even commented sure helped out. I appreciate that. Bruce, oh, Mary Beth, thank you. Good to see you. Great. We've got They're Coming happening. So at the start of the next turn, which is now, a threat card that is 1 level lower than normal, but will not happen for a group of small heroes on a 1 through 3. So we already are dealing with Kobari headhunters who are shooting blowguns from the trees. We don't need more problems. We've got more problems. Low threat. We go to the Otherworld threat deck, and we find a young swamp raptor. Huh. This threat is lower than normal. Oh, because it's +5 per hero. Okay. So, so normally we would have, different choices for small, medium, and large here, and I would like scale it down. But this young swamp raptor, brightly colored young swamp raptor, is more alive and aggressive when they're more agile and aggressive hunters than when fully grown, but they lack the skill and bulk of their older brethren. So the young swamp raptor is faster, +1 initiative, but their melee hits only hit on a 4+, and their base health is 25 +5 per hero. So we have a 35 health young swamp raptor who's hitting on 4s that just showed up. Not helpful. Wow. Okay, this is going to take some tricky moves. Now, Zoshi Ketzel is a little bit sad. When she was younger, she found a sleeping swamp raptor, and she decided to pull a prank on it and drew on it with permanent tar paint or sap from the trees or deep, rich dyes. And so this swamp raptor that she tagged when she was a youth and drew all sorts of funny things on while it was sleeping is now come back and found her. My other swamp raptors are painted normally, but this one is painted as if as if it was sleeping and had somebody come and mark their show how strong and brave they were. Okay, so this is showing up. It's going to show up. It doesn't show up in it does show up in ambush. Okay, so 1 through or odd, it attacks Zoshi Ketzel, and it's odd, so it'll attack her. Tries to get around behind her. It's going to overflow the board a little bit right there. This is bad news. What does a raptor look like? Swamp raptor. Like I said, I didn't preset decks. I did look through some decks to see what order things were coming in, so I could have like map tiles and enemies ready, but the fact that this is popping out right now during the middle of another fight, yeesh. Okay, initiative 6. Oh, so Zoshi still gets to go before it. Terror 2, Chomp. After it makes a melee attack, it rolls 1 extra combat against a random adjacent hero as a Chomp attack. It does 2d6 damage. And if a 6 is rolled, it ignores its defense. Yikes. So it's hitting on 4s instead of 3s, and it rolls 3 dice and has 35 health. Okay. All right. We can do this. We can do this. Heroes, you are Aztec. You are warriors. You are tested. You will be fine. I rolled a 4, so I shouldn't draw a threat. Somebody, rules lawyer, help me, save me. Where's this card? It says, if already a low threat, only add it on the d6 roll of 1, 2, or 3. Okay, I misread. Thank you, Adam. You're so good. So good to me. Okay, so no raptor. Still on the top of the deck for threats, though, so a little preview. So we see a raptor run by in the middle of the fight, and we're like, ugh, that's out there. We're going to have to deal with that later. But not jumping up in the middle of our Kobari fight. Oh, thank you so much. Helps to read the cards. Helps to read the cards. Oh, it would be ambushing at +2 to initiative. Thank you, Adam. But it's not here. Get out of here. Okay. Back to the beginning of the round. We're rolling to hold back the darkness. It's a 6, which would be a fail. So Xochitl takes their coming voices 3. Oh my gosh, she's down to 1 sanity damage left. So she is going to go down as soon as she has any other sanity problem. So as soon as we fail the hold back the darkness roll again. Technically that's not a fail, so this doesn't move because it's 2 3s, but her madness specifically calls out even when the doubles would fail. And double 3s in the Valley of the Serpent King says, greed taking hold. You're so close now to riches beyond your wildest dreams. Every hero takes 1 corruption hit, or 2 if the hero party marker is at the center stage, or 3 in the bottom stage. So 1 corruption hit for everybody. Let's see how they do. Safe and safe. Okay, which is good because 1 more hit and Huitzilopochtli will mutate. He did not do well in mission 1 dealing with corruption. Though Xochitl is not far behind, she has 2 more hits before she mutates. Yes, Adam, you were right. The heroes would have been finished had that raptor stuck around, so you may have saved them. Literacy, so important. If a hero would be wounded by the blowguns, they also gain a poison marker. They were not wounded by the blowguns, so they did not gain poison markers. But that's about to happen. So they go at initiative 8, start with the blowguns. Odds will mean they're going for Xochitl. 1 and 1, so they each get 1 blowgun going at them. Yellow will be Xochitl. Xochitl is missed, and there's a hit on Huitzilopochtli. Huitzilopochtli does not want to get hit with that. We can either, we'll use the round shield first. Yeah, we'll use the round shield. So round shield for 3 will stop this hit. Let me make sure that, yeah, that works. So that's a success. So Huitzilopochtli blocks, takes a poison dart right in the round shield. Apparently there's still hunters up there in the trees shooting darts down. And then now they make their attacks. 2 combat dice. Okay, this is a little more reasonable. 2 golden dice against Huitzilopochtli. 1 hit that is not a pumped up Machu Blade hit. So Huitzilopochtli will already use the shield, so we'll roll for 5. Gets the 5, is safe and unharmed. So Xochitl gets attacked. 1 super hit and 1 normal hit. She will use the round shield against the super hit. And let's see what she gets. She gets a 2. That's no good. So she will animal instinct that. She needs a 3 or higher on an 8-sided dice. Gets a 1. She gets hit with a super hit, and then, oh no, it gets past her shield. Now she has to save against both of them. And does not save against either, has no grit. Wow. So she's going to take a super hit, which is 2d6. Sorry, 2 plus a d6, and the other one is 2. So she's taking 2 damage, 4 damage, plus 6 damage. That's 10 damage. She has 8 health. She is down. Is there no way out of this? There is no way out of this. She's already used her animal instincts. She's already used her Chamali Brown shield. She's down. Wham. Not good. Not good. Okay, you have bought your partner one chance here to take this guy down and maybe have a fair fight one-on-one. It's going to take a lot of doing. He has, well, interesting. He could potentially get her back up by dragging her on to an adjacent map tile soon, but that's going to be a next turn question. For now, he's going to take his option of rolling for movement. He's going to stay right where he is. He's going to use his brutal combat, which allows him to recover a grit on the d6 roll of 4+. And oh my gosh. Yes. Okay. Gets a 3, so that's no good. So it doesn't have any grit, so it's just going to have to swing. 2 dice. We need 5s and 6s. In fact, we need both of these to hit. Neither of them hit. This is not good. This is not good. Okay, going into the next round. Double 6s could save us. We're not allowed to flee. That's part of the mission parameters. 10. That's a successful hold back the darkness roll. There's that. The blow darts guns go off, and they both target Huitzilopochtli, and they are both hits. So he's going to use his round shield against one of them, and that's successful. So only one of the blow dart guns is hitting, and it's only hitting if he doesn't roll a 5. He doesn't roll a 5, so it's hitting him. He's now poisoned and takes 6. Oh my gosh. 6 damage. So he is down to 6 health left. Ooh, buddy. And how does this poison work? A hero wounded by this also gains a poison marker. So we will give him 1 poison marker. Ooh. Mission 1, sadness. Mission 2, sadness. Now they will, this one slithers over to try and get some good hits. They will roll 4 dice, looking for 3s or higher. And they are successful. There's some super hits in there. Oh wait, he could, yeah, well, he'll have to use it now. He is going to roll his defense against these. He needs 5s. 2 of these are super hits, so we'll mark them in gold. And he does have his animal instinct left to try and stop one of these. So currently nothing is stopping, so he'll re-roll one of the, oh, with his animal instinct it should be a d8, so he re-rolls that and comes up with a 5. That is a success, so he's currently taking 4 damage plus a d6, which comes up 5, so 9 damage. He is down, 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 down. Oh, heroes. Heroes, sad day. And we forgot to use the rule where the Kobari headhunters take away one of your items at the beginning of the fight too. Man, what I didn't say about the town visit was that the villages had been abandoned. That was the first daily event rolled, which did not allow them to use the expedition supplies spot, which means I couldn't load the side bag with anything. So no ability to get tonic or bandages or things like that. So, oh, actually, before we take those finals rolls, let's see what happens if we spend our healing herbs on Huitzilopochtli. He should have used those when he was down to 6 health. So he'd have full health, but then we said he took 10. Okay, he's down to 4. We're not down yet, sorry. I'm moving too fast because I'm on stream and want to keep it interesting. We got 4 health left. Make sure you're marked with your 10 damage, though. So you have 10 damage on you. She's still down. And they are all done for the turn. We're still in it. We still got this. Oh, don't they have a revive token? Hey, they do. Yeah, when you play with 1 or 2 heroes, it's not just a 2-hero game. It's a 2-hero game with a revive token, which we should have used last game. So she should have 1 less injury. So she doesn't actually have a madness, which means she has her full sanity. She hasn't been dealing with that this whole time, because she would have gotten that healed in town instead of her other injury. And she would have revived. Yeah, so she would have instantly revived and gotten a grit back. So she's back with 1 grit, full health. Yeah. But otherwise, I think that's mostly a retcon. This guy would have attacked her instead of him. So we would have spread the damage out. But instead, we'll give it both there. He'll use the healing herbs to stay out of the danger of death. He still only has 4 health left, and she has a full health of 11 right now. Woo! Looks like Treetops was the wrong choice. Thank you, Adam, for saving the heroes yet again. You saved them from a raptor. You saved them from not having a revive token. I mean, they're not out of the fight yet, but we definitely have like a real chance now. She also needs to get her attack, because she never got her attack because she went down from the blow dart gun before they moved. So she does need to get her attack. Let's give her that. Oh, things are looking better. Oh, sorry about the retconning. It is tricky when there's just one person and you have the pressure of keeping things interesting on the live stream. There's no pressure. We're all friends. Okay, she's going to roll for movement. She gets a 5, 6, 7 off of her bonuses. She would have been adjacent to this guy, so she can use all 3 of that to add it to a hit. She'll throw her spear. Is this true? Would she be able to recharge both? She already used. No, she couldn't do both. So she can either recharge her spear or recharge her feathered band. She'll recharge her feathered band, and so she does have +3 for a hit, but she just gets to swing her Machiwito. So it needs 5s and 6s. Has a grit because she got to use a revive token, so she'll use that to reroll both of those. Needs a 5 or a 6. Gets a 5, so that counts as a crit. This has no defense. It'll get to ignore the first 2 wounds it takes in the turn, and she will add 3 to this damage roll. 8. 8 minus 2 is 6, so this thing has 6 damage on it, and it is down. It never gets to go over and attack. Its attack would not have been added to Huitzilopochtli's damage. But we're going to give that to them because we didn't let them take away the items like we were supposed to at the beginning, and we're retconning, and I should have just paid attention. So, yes, Nick, we're back in it. This guy's got 1 wound on him. It's the beginning of a new turn. He's got 10 health wounds on him, but they both have their shields back, and they both have their animal instinct back. We've got a way to do this. Okay. Breathe hard. Remember your training. Think about all the rules. Hold back the darkness. And I don't have my sanity problems because I had a revive token last adventure and fleed at the right time. 8. That's a success. So this doesn't move. And this guy gets to go first. Odds he will blow dart what she... Yep, he blow darts Zoshi Ketzel. And then she will try to stop it with her round shields. She does, so it does not hit her. And then this guy has a target, doesn't need to change target, so he attacks. He gets 1 hit, and that will be stopped with a round shield. If we're lucky, we're lucky. So no damage goes through. And we are also going to say that he is not poisoned because one of those guys should have been. Oh no, they would have still gotten that. Yeah, so he's still poisoned. Okay, Kobari Headhunters, you did your worst. You shot your poison damage. We get 5 extra XP for offing you. Forgot about that, so you should have more there. And you should get another 40 XP. 385 for Zoshi Ketzel right now, climbing towards that 500 mark. She's going to take her attack. She's already used her round shield, but she hasn't used Animal Instinct, so she will ready the Feathered Band again, and then roll for movement. She gets a 3, 4, 5, so she can go 2. She won't use the Feathered Band this turn, but she'll get ready for a super turn next turn. And she will roll 2 dice, looking for 5s and 6s. No, and has no grit, so doesn't help. Our friend, the Jaguar Warrior, doesn't like having such little health, but it's probably worth it to stick around. He'll use Brutal Combat to try and get a grit back. He does, so he gets 1 grit. He will swing his Machi Whittle, or he'll roll for movement just in case that helps. It does. He gets another grit back. And now he will swing his Machi Whittle. Only one of those hits. We'll save the grit for defense. The one that hits does 1 damage, which doesn't even get past defense. Okay, beginning of the next round. 7, that fails. The darkness marker moves. The blow dart guns go off. Odds is Zoshi Ketzel. Nope, it's evens. So is it going to hit? It does. And is the round shield going to stop it? It does. Now the attack comes on our Jaguar Warrior. Oh, 2 6s. Super bad. He's already used his shield. He's going to use his defense. Try and get 5s. Got 1 5. He's going to use Animal Instinct to reroll that. See if he can get a 5 or higher. He does, so no wounds get through. He was poisoned last turn, so we need to check for poison. He was not poisoned last turn. And nor did he get rid of the poison. Okay, safe. Zoshi, you now have your Feathered Band ready. You're not going to use this turn. You will activate your Aztec Spear. So both your once per fight items are ready at the same time. Roll for movement, it's 7. So 3 pairs of unspent movement points. So plus 3 damage on this spear attack if we want. It's a 7, so that's a crit. The crit does 4 damage. Plus 3 is 7. Minus 2 is 5. So 5 wound goes through. He has 1 wound on him already. That's 6. And the Kobari Headhunter is down, and another 40 XP for our friend. So that's 425 now. Woo! Okay, so much needed respite. We made it, guys. Last adventure, the revive token wouldn't have made any difference. Those Kobari were simply too powerful. That's true, Adam, but she would have used the revive token to be standing when they both fled, and so she wouldn't have gained the wound that she picked up off of the injury chart. And so in town, instead of spending all that money to heal her wound, she could have spent all that money to heal her madness. So that was the retcon I was going for. But you're right. No, we were not going to beat those Kobari, but the revive token just let them survive long enough to flee, which they were allowed to do in that adventure. In this adventure, we are not allowed to flee. We are allowed to lick our wounds, however, and Huitzilopochtli did not get to activate this turn, so we are going to roll d6 for healing for him. Hey, and he gets a 6. Great, so he only has 4 wounds on him. He's up to 10 health. That's a little better. We have no more healing tricks, though, so we're going to have to figure out a way to find bandages along the way somehow. The other piece here is that they get some loot. Oh, I was getting all excited because in the last mission they got double loot when they killed big beast enemies. This room, they just get normal loot. Okay, we really need some help here. Something that can help us now. Is there a loot card that will give us a side bag token, or is that a scavenge card? Good find. Okay, we are in an other world, and so Zoshi Ketzel gets an artifact. Come on. We need something from the big, beautiful artifact deck. So many things could happen right now. It is the glow fungus. Discard to consume the glow fungus. You remove D3 corruption and you may recover a grit. Ooh. You know who needs that? Not Zoshikatsu. But she's going to hang on to it. Because she likes grit too. Right, we'll put that over with her stuff. And then the 20 XP. That's very nice. What else can we find for our Jaguar Warrior? He gets 2d6 times 20. He was so excited to burn all that money he found, but then the expedition supplies was not open. So he picks up a roll of 9, so he picks up 180 gold. 765 on gold. Wow, he needs to find some darkstone and get an inlay here. Or a grip. Okay, well, we will take it. We've got some healing, we got some loot. Slowly gaining small advantages in this fight against the Kobari. Hopefully we won't run into a passage and have them ambush us again. We are alive. We are happy to advance, and we need 7 doorway tokens to find our way out of this noose that's tightening. And if we find a clue token, we will get to see what happens when the Kobari set off their traps. Remember, we're running through this area and there's deadly traps that are setting, like the noose is tightening, and they know where we are and they're setting us up for failure and ambush. Okay, side by side, these two strangers who just met are now thick as thieves. They understand how each other work. They understand the help they need and how to support each other. Double 5s, come on. Sacrifice to the Serpent Gods. Human screams echo through the valley from atop the steeped pyramid in the distance. All heroes in the valley take D6 horror hits until the next depth event is triggered. All Serpentman enemies are +1 combat. Well, that's not cool. The Kobari headhunters are Serpentman enemies, so they are +1 combat until the next depth event is triggered. It's getting worse, guys. It's getting worse. D6 horror hits. All right, she's going to take 2. He's going to take 6. So she's going to save against one of them. So she's down to 8 sanity. And he's going to save against all but one of them. So he is down to 8 sanity. Good job, buddy. Okay. Into the jungle. Pretty good. 1 minute and 13-minute mark. We've already seen the Kobari. We've seen a new ability. We have an appreciation for the deadliness of this mission. We have 2 door icons. We need 7. We want to see what a trap looks like. Okay. Zoshi, show us the meaning of haste. She got a 1, which is actually a 3, and she gets a grit back, so we'll actually take it. Let's limp slowly and heal with our grit. We need some way to turn grit into bandages. We got a hero that can do that. All right. Aztec. Jaguar Warrior rolls a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll go north. What will become of us? Dare we scavenge? No. We're so... scavenging is... There's a way to find bandages when you scavenge, right? There's a way. We're going to scavenge. Come on. You can do it. Gets it. And... let's go... Hey! Something shiny. 1 through 6. Okay, this is your chance. Darkstone, gear card, or artifact. 6, draw an artifact card. Okay, that went wildly better than we could have imagined. An extra 10 gold because we're in the Valley of the Serpent Kings, and 10 XP. You've been doing terrible at gaining any XP from fighting, so you're going to have to do some skill tests there. Which to Lipotle. Your artifact card. Please let it be something that heals. How about this one? It's a Gemmy Root. What is this? Artifact, Jargono Plant, Gemmy Root. Once per adventure, licking the Gemmy Root to gain the following effects. So we have cats licking Gemmy Roots now. +3 move, automatically pass escape tests, and roll 1 extra die on all skill tests. But anytime you take 1 more wounds, you take 1 extra. Wow. Maybe he can trade the Gemmy Root to the Eagle Warrior for the Glow Fungus. Because the Glow Fungus is actually better for him, and the Gemmy Root is better for her. Start of your activation each turn, roll a d8, no grit, on the roll of 1 or 2. These effects wear off. Yeah. All right, we're going to do a little trade. We're not going to use either of these yet, but potentially we will be eating the Glow Fungus with the Jaguar Warrior, which to be Pitle, and Zoshiketzel, the Eagle Warrior, might lick the Gemmy Root. Out here in the nomadic existence, we like to sample new wares. It's called foraging for food. We can survive anywhere. Okay. Good scavenge, end of the turn, hold back the darkness. We got a 6, that's a fail. We get a darkness card. Our Treetop hunters away. Hold back the darkness card. The darkness card says Wretched Corruption. Every hero immediately takes 2 wounds or 2 sanity damage, ignoring defense and willpower for each corruption point they currently have, any mix. It's time to eat the Glow Fungus. So we're going to remove D3 corruption from the Jaguar Warrior and recover a grit. He's already maxed on grit, but he recovers 3, so he's now just down to 0 corruption. Okay, and she's at 2. So she takes 2 wounds or 2 sanity damage, ignoring defense and willpower. So she will, for each corruption point they have, any mix. So she'll lose 2 health and go down to 9 health. And then she'll lose 2 sanity damage and go down to 6 sanity. Not good, not good. Get this on her. She has 2 wounds on her. He has 4 wounds on him. And then he doesn't, any hero that has no corruption hits instead takes 4 corruption hits. So he got rid of all his corruption to avoid that, but now they're going to try and load him back up. And he needs to save against these. Saves against, whoop, he's back to 3 corruption, 1 away from mutating again. Okay. He didn't even get to use his grit in the process. Okay. Wretched Corruption. This is a sneaky card. There's multiple of them in the deck. So the first time it happens, it loads you up with corruption, and the second time it happens, it takes out your sanity damage and health, or your sanity and health. So it's a very clever card. Okay. Failed to hold back the darkness, but we have, our spirits are not broken. We are heading 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the unknown. Come on. Deep Swamp. 4 exits, the spiked glow vines are in there if you're playing with the advanced rules. I'm just going to go to Deep Swamp. And again, feel free to drop in and out of this adventure whenever you want. Hopefully you've gotten to see something new and interesting. And yeah, enjoy the rest of Roll to Move. We're by no means done here. We're just about at the halfway mark, but I know that my day usually permits me to participate in things for a little bit, but not the whole thing. If you're able to hang around for the whole thing, great. Hopefully the story will unfold in a way that is either a brilliant death or an amazing victory. We've got an exploration token coming after Witchley Pile. Takes steps up. Good. They're in strategic position. Got a chokehold on the doorway. A little banged up, but ready to show our skills. We would really not like to see a clue icon because that would mean traps. But we would really like to see door icons because we need 7 and have 2. He's not going to scavenge the room behind him because it's already been scavenged. 1 door icon, that's great. We have 3 out of the 7 we need. We get a depth event. And the depth event now cancels the Serpent Men having extra damage. Good. It says until we had another depth event, we would have +1 damage to all the Serpent Men. Combat, +1 combat. So the new depth event is 2. And that means, like it does in most worlds, Dark Dread. Things are looking more and more bleak by the moment. Draw a Growing Dread card and add it to the stack. Okay, and in this mission, Growing Dread cards. Growing Dread cards go off when we have found 7 or more total door icons. Okay, so that will happen at the end, but not necessarily during the fight. And then we have an encounter, and anytime we have an encounter, we have a chance to have a Kobari encounter. So we'll have our first encounter. It says it's a spike trap. The spiked glow vines are concealing a spike trap. You step down onto the spongy moss and you hear a loud click. That can't be good. Oh, this is not a random. Ooh, this is from the map tile pack. An encounter. Okay, agility 6+ on a random hero. Odds it'll be Xochitl. 4, it's even. And she's the one who's pumped up on agility. So this is especially mean because it's only 2 dice for our friend the Jaguar. Come on. He gets a 5, he needed a 6. If successful, 30 XP. If failed, you take a bunch of wounds. 2d6 wounds, ignoring defense. So I think we're going to spend a grit here to reroll these 2 dice, hoping for a 6 on one of them. Come on. Nope, we're taking, failed. You realize too late what is happening. You take 2d6 wounds, ignoring defense as you are skewered by a vicious trap of a wooden spike. 9 has 10 health, takes 9 damage, still standing. Okay, not cool. We've lost our revive token. This spike trap. Wow, that is so mean. Oh, and it's so mean that it was a random hero and we couldn't have it happen to the hero who has 4 agility. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Man, the jungle is no joke. Let's see, on a 1 through 3, we will also have to deal with Kobari Headhunter encounter. Let me read the card on that to make sure. Says, yep, on a 1, 2, or 3, also draw 1 Kobari encounter. That's why I got confused earlier when I rolled the. We got a 1, so it is a 1, 2, or 3, which means we get to see more of what's in this pack. Okay, so a new Kobari. Stepping down, Kobari Death Trap. So we just hit a spike trap, and now stepping down with your left foot, so apparently we just stepped down with our right foot. Stepping down with your left foot, a crunching click rings out, and you have a fraction of a second to realize that something is wrong. Just before a gust of air, an array of sharpened wooden spikes swings down on you from above. So there's 1 below, and now there's 1 coming out of the trees. We were fighting the Treetop hunters, so apparently they like to distract you with a trap on the ground before the trap from above comes. Also, this one just happens to be, and this is, I love it when the game does this and it like lines up interesting things next to each other. So that was an encounter from the map tile pack, and this is an encounter from the new Kobari mission pack. And they're working in tandem with each other. Another random hero. So hopefully, come on, we're going to roll. If it's odd, it's Xochitl. She's really good at agility. Please let it be her. It's odd. It's a 7, so okay. He's stepping on something on the ground while she has things flying in from above. She's going to roll 4 dice trying to get a 6. I talked her up, and now she's got to please live up to the hype. She needs a 6. 2 4s and 2 5s. She's going to use her grit. Come on, come on, come on. Yes, 2 6s, a 5, and a 4. There we go. Okay. So, if successful, gain 40 XP as you drop out of the way just in time to avoid the death trap. If failed, roll once on the injury table as you are skewered by the death trap. And every other hero within 2 spaces of you also takes 2d6 horror hits. Oh, I love this. So it's not just someone gets hit. The Kobari have set it up so that your morale is broken. Somebody gets decimated and everybody else does not want to keep going. Oh, that's so fun. And it's random, so you can't have it happen to the person you want it to have happen to. Ooh, Kobari Death Trap. Yeah, that is an improvement on the spike. Leave it to the mercenaries to improve on an already practically lethal trap. That's fun. We've already hit 2 traps and haven't even gotten one of the mission special traps yet. Yes, okay, so it's a day for traps. Deep Breath, 40 XP. Oh, that's how we'll get healing. She's at 485, so she only needs 15 more XP to, oh, did she open the door or did he? She opened the door. She gets 10 more for that. 495 and 5 XP. She's going to be able to heal, but he's the one who needs healing and he only has 155 XP. We got to get him some damage. Why isn't he finishing anybody off? Maybe because he doesn't have the feathered band. But he has brutal combat. Yeah, brutal combat is not paying off for him the way I thought it would so far. Okay, that was fun. Seeing more of the mission pack. 3, 2, 1. One door means we got to figure out which door that was. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's over here. Going around in circles. So, tiles here. Okay, let's start to see where we are headed. Come on. Woo. Okay. Holding back the darkness. 11. Success. Oh, double 6s. That'll get us some healing too. Let's go cautiously optimistic. I mean, things got to swing our way at some point. Loshi, you got a lot of movement. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. She will step out of the way so that he can start getting some XP from opening doors. We'll try to limp him along. She will scavenge, though, in case that she can get XP from the scavenge. And no success on the scavenge. He moves along 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and can open the door. So he gets 5 XP, get him up to 160. And the map tile comes, Spider Hole. So far, we've hit no passages, which is great, because I'm very scared to hit all of those passages in a row. So we found the Spider Hole, which is 3 exits. I have a mobile setup for when I want to take the game somewhere else, and I feel like my mobile setup is paying off really nicely now. I have a hanging file system where I group map tiles by the number of exits and what world they originally came with. So far, I've been able to pull a map tile and then immediately, or pull a map deck card, and then immediately find the other one within seconds. So it's paying off real nice. Exploration token. And he's got the XP. Oh, sorry. I switched their positions. He's got the XP. And we're going to see what happens at the end of the turn. Keeping stuff in frame here. Whoop. Quick check in with chat. Exploration token. A portal, which in this mission becomes a door. The door that is down here, apparently. Whoop. And the gate does not count. The gate does not count as a door icon? Is that happening right now? That's all we want, and we got the one thing that won't help us? It says Gate icons do not count for this. And earlier it says all gates are treated as normal doors. So we get a door so we can leave the room, but we do not get credit for finding 7 doors. We only have 3 right now. Sad. We get an encounter. What's happening in the spider hole room? Ooh, it's another City of Gold encounter. The arc of time. The heavens above seem to shift rapidly as the sun sets. The stars race across the sky, and the sun rises once more, cycling through day and night several times. Ooh, we stepped on the wrong stone. Over the course of just a few minutes. Your head spins as you lose track of how many days must have passed since you began this quest. Everybody makes a lore 5+ test. They're both lore 3. We got the green dice and the blue dice. Okay, so far Zoshi did fine, and Witch to Chipotle did not. If failed, move the darkness forward 1 space on the depth track. Okay, we're gonna do it. We'll move forward for the fail there. And if they were successful, 20 XP. So we now have 515 XP and can level up when Zoshi needs it. So she has kind of earned a revive token again here because she'll be able to level up in between turns, and that will fully heal her and give her a new ability. So if she gets down on health, she's at 9 right now. She'll be okay. So she's walking around with 2 wounds on her. He's walking around with 13 wounds on him. Okay, now after all of that happens, the sun is racing through the sky, the stars are rising and setting, something weird is happening, and then our friend, the Jaguar Warrior, fails. Any hero that has, quote, has a stolen chalice may cancel a darkness or growing dread card or recover a grit. Ooh, so there's a stolen chalice somewhere in the encounter card that you can come up with that would give you an interesting effect. Interesting, City of Gold. I haven't used the City of Gold mission card yet to run a City of Gold theme mission. That looks like a worthwhile endeavor. I like the missions that come in the map tile pack. I feel like those are very replayable. I wonder if that one they would be interesting as both a City of Gold mission and the varied endings that they normally have. Okay, could have been worse, and maybe it is, because on a 1 through 3, we get a Kobari adventure encounter as well, and it is. You guys came to see new stuff. Kobari Death Trap was the last one. Hunter's Call. Okay, we are being hunted. A chilling clicking noise echoes from above. Come on, above? The Treetop Hunters again. Followed by a squawking shriek in the distance. Your blood runs cold as you realize that creatures that have been hunting you are close now. Very close. Place this card by the depth track. The next time the depth event is rolled, discard this card and treat that depth event as double ones instead of whatever was rolled. Discard this card if the hero party marker crosses into a new stage of the depth track. Okay, the hero party marker needs to move into a new stage of the depth track. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. We got to go 3 more spaces to make that happen. Wow, this is bad. So normally we would just think, hey, if I pull passage tiles, I could advance this and get past there without, quicker, without having to stop in rooms and stuff. But in this case, the map tile passages from a Kobari adventure will potentially be full of Kobari waiting to ambush us. Yeah, that's not good. And double ones means we would have to draw a threat card, and anytime we draw a threat card, we check to see if it's common enemies. So yeah, this is really tightening the screws a little bit for making us have to fight more Kobari headhunters. All right, we'll put that by the depth track. And when we go into a new stage of the depth track, it's bad for the heroes based on this too. I like that. It's like kind of a recurring theme. The deeper you go into the jungle, the worse it gets. Okay, but we did survive the turn, except for this little tiny red token at the end. Special trap time. Adam Mitchell is on the edge of their seat. and they are not going to let me get past that without forgetting. I wasn't forgetting it. I'm just, whenever I do an encounter token, I go from top to bottom methodically, doing the top thing, the next thing, the bottom thing. And so that clue token is the last thing. And we get Kobari traps. All right. You guys have been waiting patiently for new fun stuff. So I am going to let someone roll a d6 and tell me which trap we have encountered. So it'll come up in the chat. I will read through them while someone is rolling for that trap. Trapped creature attack, that's a 1. Please do not roll that. If we do that, they have trapped a creature and then herded us into it, and we have a giant epic threat that includes a large size enemy or bigger. And yeah, and we don't get to get around it by drawing a common enemy instead. So please do not roll a 1. Spiked Pit. More pits, spiked pit. You make a cunning 6+ test, and if fail, take D3 bleeding markers. Ouch. 3 poison darts. You take D6 hits that do no wounds. Instead, for each defense failed, you gain poison markers. That's fun. I like that, poison darts. Ooh, Tuka Tuka bulb nets. So you can get the Tuka Tuka bulb in the artifacts. I don't remember what it does. Oh, it's like an alternate lamp source. Filled with corrosive juices and the bulbs burst on contact, each hero must make an agility 6+ test, and if you fail, you gain a bleeding marker. Okay, we'll take a 4. If somebody can roll a 4, that would be nice. Yeah, so somebody's going to roll and type it into chat. 5, the Kobari Strike would be an ambush attack using the Kobari Headhunters. And 6, Trap Avoided. Spotting the trap the Kobari have laid for you, you evade and keep on moving. Adam Mitchell says, I am so sorry, but I honestly rolled a 1. Adam, we like this game because it tells great stories, and this is a fantastic story. So apparently these treetop hunters stay in the trees and hide up there because they trap large beasts, herd them into the spider hole area, and then wait for maybe the spider to attack it, and they watch it fight. But instead, they realized, ooh, we have that beast trapped waiting for the spider to come fight it. Let's see if we can herd these jaguar and eagle warriors who have wandered into our territory, thinking that they will hunt a large beast. Let's see. Let's play with them and toy with them. Cat and mouse. Cat and mouse? Jaguar and eagle? Yeah. We will see if they can handle fighting this enormous beast on their beast hunt that they were going for. Okay, we're going to grab the Epic Threat deck, which is a lot. These are all epic threats. And I read this mission during lunch, so I went through the Epic Threat deck and flipped until I found one that fit the parameters, and it was Elder Wasteland's Terralisk. So you have to keep flipping until you find one that has a large enemy on it, and I flipped to find one that was also themed closer to something that might be in this world and something that I have on site here. So we have an Elder Wasteland Terralisk. It has double its normal health as well as 4 extra combat. So we are going to deal with this crazy critter, the Elder Wasteland Terralisk. I love its segmented body. I love how it echoes the sand crabs, which is very different. And that maw that's just trying to grab you with all those tentacles is going to come into play. One of its abilities is that if it gets lucky, it can actually pull you into its stomach and start to digest you, and you have to fight your way out of it. So, all right, this is not an ambush attack, right? Attack, draw an epic threat card. Or high threat if 1 or 2 heroes. Oh, it must include a large size or bigger enemy. Okay, we're okay. This is the epic threat. Okay, so for those of you who will be playing 3 and 4 player, know that this type of thing can happen in the middle of your Kobari hunt. But noticing that it is a high threat for 1 or 2. Oh, and then Adam just caught that rule for me too. I legitimately caught it myself before I read your note, but that's good. Okay, we're going to flip through this deck, and I'm going to do it on camera so you don't think I'm shaming. Or we can just do the high threat version of the Terralisk. Reek of Marn, we're not going to go into really detailed characters. We need, oh, what did it say? We need a large, it needs to have a large size or bigger enemy. So we're going to do stuff that is on theme and large size or bigger. Ooh, a Harvester Drill Team. Do I have the Harvester Drill Team here? Let me do a quick check. So in this case, the Harvester Drill Team is in the Kobari territory, and they have herded you towards it to see what you will do. Ah, oh my gosh, and they're painted. Woo-wee. Okay, there are large chunks of my collection that are painted and large chunks that are not painted. So, Harvester Drill Team. Okay, not everybody has had a chance to run into these guys because they're fairly new and they're part of the last Kickstarter. So when you build these out, the Harvester Drill Team, we don't know where they're from or what's going on with them, but they come in from other worlds and they kind of like move in. I think they have big long cords attached to them, kind of like your deep sea diving, but you're going into another environment where you wouldn't survive if you were outside of your suit. And they come looking for Darkstone. And this drill team, they have extra like little tools and abilities that that were not there. There are harvesters that we've seen before, but this is a bigger, more serious version. So this Harvester Drill Team, I love the way they look. I just got initial coats of paint on them for some of their stuff, but you have different appendages you can put on them, so you can swap them, you can make them same or different, you can kind of adjust their arms how you want them to be. So we'll see, depending on which one of these we want to put into the spider pit. So one of these things has been fighting a spider recently, apparently, and now we've been herded in. It's like gladiator style arena for these treetop Kobaris that are herding us there. So pretty. Oh, I got a so pretty for an attempt at a paint job. Thanks, Nick. Gotta pull that cord out. This is fun. It'll be interesting to see how Aztec warriors fare versus these, because every enemy has like their perfect hero that they can take down no problem, and then there's some heroes that like are just the perfect answer to certain enemies too. So let's see if the drill team is a fair fight or if one of them has the rock, paper, scissors advantage. Dragonfires. Oh, you're probably under H for Harvester. Harvester Drill Team, alien suit. Oh, Adam Mitchell, what are you doing to me? If memory serves, the top world deck threat card is a young adult swamp raptor. So you're saying I should be drawing a high threat card, and when I do that in this world, I should be pulling from the other world threat deck. You are correct. Okay, I will let you vote, but I will say this. Earlier, when I looked through the enemies ahead of time so I can have their like cards ready and their pieces, so I don't have to do what I just did. And one thing that I tossed away earlier because I didn't want to do the extra steps was I tossed away this wandering enemy threat card. So that actually should have come up earlier in the game, but I decided I didn't want to hunt through all the collection, and I wanted to keep it on theme for that first mission. So, do you want to fight the Harvester Drill Team, or do you want to fight a young adult raptor? I will go either way. Audience, you may choose. Okay, we've got some heavy votes for the Drill Team, more votes for the Drill Team coming through. You guys are such a great He's such a great group. And I appreciate your patience because I know there's like a 2 or 3 minute delay from when I say something to when you get it. So I know that you're having to wait for me to see what you say, and that is a painful way to communicate. So, okay, that's what it was. It was the Harvester Drill Team. We're doing it. Let's go. All right, let's see what's happening here. Okay, so they have Rumble, Drill, Jackhammer, and Claw. So you know what? We'll just swap them out depending on what cool thing they roll. So it's just one because it's the high threat. There's just one of them for. Oh wait, how many are there? 3. Oh, I was thinking we were 1 or 2 heroes. So we get all 3 harvesters. Oh, I'm not excited about this. I think 1 Swamp Raptor is very doable. I think 3 drill team members is very not. Okay, here we go. Just got very exciting. They're not ambushing. They're just here. So they go back left corner and then back left. Actually, it would be offset off of this and this. And the exit is here too. But wow. Can we see okay? All right, let's see what these friends are all about. Okay, they're going at initiative 3, so we will get to fully act before them. This is quite the elaborate trap that the Kobari have set up, herding us into a bunch of drill team. Drilling, at the start of every turn, each harvester draws and resolves a scavenge card. Oh, and we have the 20 card scavenge deck going. Hits and horror hits affect all adjacent heroes. Gold, Darkstone, and items may be recovered by the hero that kills the enemy model. Oh, cool. So these guys are they're actively drilling and gathering gold and Darkstone. And so we're going to put that onto these models as they drill it up. So that's going to be at the start of every turn. Then Mining Suit, they are immune to critical hits and immune to explosives. Okay, that's a problem because critical hits are kind of our specialty here with these Jaguar Warriors. Excavation tools. Each duplicate number rolled on a harvester's to hit roll, a double or triple, etc., also triggers the following for that duplicate number. So they roll 5 combat dice, and any dice that are matching, like so if there's 3 3s or 2 3s, it'll trigger the 3. If there's 4 6s, it'll trigger the claw. But it just triggers it 1 time. So there'll be lots of rumbling, which is all heroes on the map tile take 3 basic hits. Basic hits are hits that just do 1 damage. And then that's bad because we're good at stopping big giant hits, but not stopping 1,000 small hits. And then drill, hits during this attack are +2 damage, double 5s. After resolving the hits, all heroes on the map tile bounce like a bomb. So roll a d8 to randomize which direction they go, and a d3 to see how many times they bounce. And then the claw, the hero is -1 defense for hits during the stack. We're already only 5 for defense, so then we'll be at needing to roll 6s. Okay, but they have 8 health and 5 defense, and they're slow. So maybe we can get one of them off the table, survive a round. Oh, I only have 1 health though with this Jaguar Warrior. Eek. Eek. Why did you... Oh, man. Okay. You know what? I think it's time to lick the Gemby root. Okay, start of a new turn. We're going to get it going. We're going to see how far we can get here. See how many of these... This is probably the final fight. We're going to see how many of these people we can tear down in the fight. So, we're going to roll 2 dice to hold back the darkness. It's a 7. That's a fail. We get a Growing Dread card, which we don't care about because we don't have 7 doorways yet. Now, once per adventure, lick the Gemgy root to gain the following effects. So our Eagle Warrior is licking the Gemgy root. +3 move now, and they pass escape test. They roll an extra dice on all skill tests, and anytime they take 1 or more wounds, they take 1 extra. Never mind, we are not licking the Gemgy root when we're about to have a lot of rumbling going on. That rumbling is like 1,000 tiny paper cuts. Oh, but having so much movement, you know what? But that +3 move, that might be this. Okay, we'll lick it next turn because +3 move when we already have +2 move and are rolling a d8. The amount of extra damage we could do on a hit might be enough to get past this giant 5 defense that can't be turned off by critical hits. Gotta get 8 health in there. No explosives. Man, this is like custom made for some like dwarf stuff or some Norse stuff. the Norse ones who are always pumping up damage with rage and things like that. They could just pull the arms off this thing. But this tactical fighting on the part of the Aztecs is not good at. Man, we're not the heroes to fight these. We need dwarves. We need Norse Vikings. We need somebody. We need a duelist with some fancy dueling abilities. Don't forget tough. Yes, they do. They will ignore. What do you mean? Don't forget tough. Yeah, they ignore critical hits. Yep, they're immune to critical hits and immune to explosives. So there's something else about tough I need to remember. Okay. Okay. Forget Gemji. We'll lick that later. All right. Here we go. Holding back the darkness. We've got enemies. These enemies are not. I want to make sure I'm not missing any triggers here. Okay, we're into it. 7, 8, 9 for movement. So she can go 1, 2, 3. How fast are these guys? Ooh, they only have a move of 4. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. They can still all get to us. But if she gets into the corner here, then maybe she can make it so that less people can get next to her, because he's going to go down so fast. Okay, she's going there. I'm going to try and take out this guy in the spider hole. Oops, sorry. My camera's not doing good things for y'all. How can I adjust this to be a better look? One moment, please. Oops. Oh, Hunter's Call. Okay, if we get doubles on the Hold Back the Darkness, we got double ones on this. Okay, we're back. She's coming in. She's got her feathered band and her Aztec spear ready. She's just going to throw this spear and forget about the feathered band because it would only give her like a +2 or so. So the spear comes flying in with a 2. That is not enough to hit. Feel like we got an animal instinct here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Of her 9. So she does have 2. Whoa! Sorry, puppy. All right, here. Let me mute this for a second so you don't hear this dog bark at the Amazon truck. Okay, okay. Let's go. Wow. I'm at a loss, guys. I normally just go like really hard and try and take an enemy off the board, but these guys got me worried. I kind of think there's too many of them not to go really hard in the paint right now. We're going to go really hard in the paint and hope that I just take enough damage to level up next turn and figure out a way to do massive damage. We're going to use the Animal Instinct to re-roll this, hopefully getting a hit. Actually, do I care that it's... Yeah, because this is I'm getting a chance for a hit, a 50% chance, a roll at a 50% chance? No, I want that Animal Instinct for damage. So we'll let this... Oh, but this would reduce the defense too for future hits. Yeah, if this one hits and the defense goes down, that is specifically one of the tricky ways that I have of dealing with this no crits problem. So we're going to re-roll this and really hope that it is, yes, it's a 6. So that's a hit. Now we got to get some damage with this. We're going to roll the d6, and if we use the feathered band, we can add 2 damage to this. But that means we're going to need a 4, 5, or 6 on this for it to be able to do any damage. We got a 1, and we've already used our Animal Instinct. So that doesn't do us any good. Plink! It bounces off. We switch over to our Machuatl, and we come up with two hits. One of them's a crit, but that doesn't matter. Let's see if we can get just a little bit of damage with these. We need to roll higher than a 5. 2 5s. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Well, we can use the feathered band. Nope, we're not going to use the feathered band. We're going to wait till next turn we have an actual chance to really push some damage with a feathered band. That was not what we were hoping. Maybe in hindsight, 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe in hindsight, the right move would be to run backwards to where they can advance 4, and then for my first movement, I move in, have a giant amount of movement to add extra damage. But I've kind of come to them now. But maybe stepping back might have been a better move. It might have given my buddy, no, because we're just going to get hit by that rumble. Because rumble is all heroes on the map tile take 3 basic hits. And so I guess this guy is going to wait. He is going to back up. He's going to back up because he can't handle getting rumbled. So he's going to let them all go for her, and then hopefully she survives, and he can rush in and assist with whichever one she can wound. So he's going to back up to where he's out of range of their 4 movement. So this guy, 1, 2, 3, 4. So as long as he's back here on one of these spaces, nobody, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, nobody would be able to get to him. So he just needs to roll 2 for movement to do that. And he gets a 1. Wow. He just needed it. What about here? If he moves to here, this guy goes 1, 2, 3, 4, not adjacent. 1, 2, 3, 4. That guy would be adjacent. 1, 2, 3, 4. That guy would be adjacent as well. Okay. We're going to have to spend grit. I think we spend grit. Let's see. Is everything going okay with our stream here? Yep. Okay. Yeah, we got. Oh, what is happening? Nope, don't want that. Yep. Okay, we're going to spend the grit to back up just a little further because I would have to spend grit to go closer anyway. So I'll spend grit to move a little closer, and then we'll use our brutal combat ability to try and get some grit. Didn't get it. And we'll just hang out here where nobody can hurt us and hope that the Harvester Drill Team doesn't completely take under a solo Zoshi Kettle who's at 9 health and 6 sanity damage. Harvester Drill Team, Initiative 3. Start of every turn. Okay, let's do the scavenge here. So this should have happened right after they hold back the darkness roll. This guy draws a... Okay, so she's not actually next to them because this happens before she even activated. But he gets D6 times 25 gold. So, whoa, that's a lot of gold. So we're going to have this represent how many 25s worth of gold that guy has, and we'll leave it next to him. So whoever defeats this, a harvester will get a whole bunch of gold. 250, oh no, sorry, 125. 125 gold right now. And then the next one would have flipped nothing here. What happens on a nothing here? Nothing. Nothing happens on a nothing here because that's what happened. They drilled and there was nothing here. And Hideous Discovery, it says hits and horror hits affect all adjacent heroes. So this thing drills up a Hideous Discovery, which would do 3 horror hits to any adjacent heroes. No heroes were adjacent. So drill horrified, drill nothing, found some gold. Okay, that's cool. And now we're going to be next to all of them. So next turn it will really matter because whatever's happening to them is happening to us too. Because we are banging on them while they're just they're just doing their day job. They're just punching the clock, 9 to 5. They came to get the stuff and go home, and now we're making it difficult for them. Okay, Harvester Drill Team. Let's see in the picture. Okay. This one's going to activate. You can only choose one hero, so it goes around behind that hero. Brings its gold with it. This one activates next because it's next closest. It tries to get around behind. That's the best it can do. This one activates next, and it tries to get around behind. That's the next best it can do. So we have 3 large harvester drill teams all coming. We're going to attack with them one at a time because we need to check their combat dice to figure out what weird things are happening. She has 2 wounds on her. They are perfectly healthy. The first one rolls, and we get a bunch of 3s. So they only hit on 4s or higher, so there's only 1 hit for 3 damage, but this 3 says that all heroes on the map tile take 3 basic hits. So she's going to save against 3 basic hits with the blue dice, and with the gold dice, she's going to save against the other hit. So save, save. She will round shield against the normal hit, and save, and then 1 basic hit gets through. So she takes 1 wound, goes down to 8 health. Whoop. All right, 3 damage on her. The next guy decides to do a similar amount of damage. So it's nice. These guys are tough to crack, but hopefully won't be doing a ton of damage against her each turn. And this time we got double 3s again. So we're going to do 3 basic hits, but this time 2 other hits have hit normally. So 2 normal hits, 3 basic hits. She's looking to save on 5s or higher. Her shield is gone though. Whoop. So she's taken 3, 4, 5, 6 damage. That ain't good. Okay, she takes 6 more damage. She's down 2 health left. No! Oh, she never even licked the Gemji root. And then the last one is going to roll. Please, don't get those 3s. Don't get 3s. No doubles, and only 2 hits, but we need 5s or 6s to deal with this. Oh, we need 5s and 6s. And we get 4s. Any way to fix that? No grit. No Gemji root. No thing. She's taken 6 wounds. She is down. Not even her leveling up ability will help her. And our other friend only has 1 health left. Should we free the adventure? 6 basic hits. You got 3 3s. No, 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 no. What are you talking about, Adam? Is that how that works? Okay. And by the way, that was a joke. We can't flee this adventure, so I was testing you to see if you're paying attention. Adam's saying that for each 3 we roll, we would get 3 basic hits. No, no, no. It says drilling at the start of every turn. Each harvester draw. No, sorry. Excavation tools for each duplicate. Oh, for each duplicate number rolled on the harvester's roll. Yeah, so for each duplicate. So if I get double 3s and double 5s, it still counts for both. So for each duplicate rolled, so a double or a triple, it also triggers the following for that duplicate number. So a 1 through 3, we take 3 basic hits. So there was duplicate 3s, so we take 3 basic hits. Because otherwise, it would be like when you rolled 2 4s, it would be like you don't stack that twice. It would be plus 2 damage and plus 2 damage, and 3 5s wouldn't be all heroes bounce like a bomb. Or you could think of 3 5s as 4 5s would be 2 doubles. No, it's just if there's an instance of multiple numbers, you do the thing. So there was an instance of multiple 3s. But if we had multiple 3s and multiple 2s, then yes, that would trigger twice. Or multiple 3s, multiple 2s. Yeah. But no, it's not per one. 6 basic hits. You got 3 3s. I think I've interpreted that correctly. I could be wrong, and I could be misinterpreting what you're saying too. Okay, we have to go to our final turn because this is not going to go well for our heroes. She's down. He needs a miracle. He needs 2 6s on the Hold Back the Darkness roll. And we get a 6 and a 5. Don't tease me. 6 and a 5. He gets to act first. He's going to roll. Oh, they get to scavenge first. There's nobody next to them. So our gold digger finds. Oh, what's he find? Rolls a d6. Found a glint of light. He comes up with 7. Draw a gear card. He digs up the jailer's pike. Use the d8 to hit, and your melee critical hits are +2 damage. Oh, he's actually holding the thing that would, and you can assign combat hits to 2 spaces away. So he's holding the thing. He's dug it up, the thing that will help you kill harvester drill teams, because you can stand 2 spaces away, so you're not next to them when they're drilling, and then your melee critical hits don't reduce their defense, but it would increase the damage. So this guy that has the gold now has a jailer's pike. So if we were fighting this out, it would be like, if we can take that guy down, we can get a thing that would help us fight the others. That's fun. It's a funny twist. The middle guy gets nothing here, just like he did last time, and the last guy gets something in the dark, also something bad. So he always gets something good, he always gets nothing, and he gets something bad. 3 little pigs. Curly Larry Moe. Oh, well, he's going to see if he draws a growing dread card to the stack. He rolls a 1. He does not. Okay, harvester drill team, no good. And then we'll roll for movement for our would-be Chimpawelpa. 1, 2, 3. Not even enough to get next to them. So he will spend a grit to get next to them, and then he will use brutal combat to gain a grit, so he's back to 1 grit, and then he will swing in defiance. He will yell things at these Kobari headhunters who are in the trees and who are laughing and watching this display. Curse you, tricky clever. Maybe I need to be a level 2 hero before I start this mission. So difficult. He rolls, swings, gets 2 hits. He's going to go after the jailer's pike guy, and with those 2 hits he gets a 6. So that is 1 damage. So out of spite, he does 1 wound to 1 harvester drill team. He doesn't have a way to increase that damage. And so the harvester drill team will now go, and I'll bet this first guy will get him. 5 dice. We have a target. They would shift because they weren't on him last time, so they would each go to the opposite spot. Surrounding, surrounding, surrounding. Take your jailer's pike and your gold with you. And 5 dice come. 2 1s, 2 4s, and a 3. So there are 3 basic hits, 2 normal hits, and the normal hits are 5 damage instead of 3. So, okay, the 2 normal hits will be blue. The 2 special hits will be gold. And we will try to stop one of the special hits with the shield. Doesn't work. We will use Animal Instinct to shut that down. It does work. We will save, looking for 5s. And our friend Witchlipotle is down, along with Xochitl. The drillers are uninterested and go about their business, drilling and collecting, and leave the area. The Kobari headhunters leave, thinking that we are defeated, and we will read the failure result as we are unable to make it through mission 2 of our campaign. Okay, objective, we should have found 7 doors, but reward, we would have each gone to increase either our sanity or health. In failure, each hero must discard 1 gear or artifact card they have. Well, she's going to throw away the Gemji root, never having licked it. It's acting as a shield now for her. And he has no gear or artifact cards? Is that true? He has the medicine shaftful, the shield, the jaguar. Whoa. He has to throw away one of his starting gear. He will throw away the Machiwatl, and then he will buy it back for $200 when he gets back to town, to camp. Yeah, that's the cheapest thing he could throw away. Ouch! Those Kobari headhunters, they don't just take heads, they take your stuff too. That is delightful. I love them. I really like these. These are very fun. They have really subtle things that affect different heroes, like the fact that they can go through armor on some, or the fact that they will have really big spiky moments. I think they have tricky, clever ways around, and I like I like how they are very trap oriented, and they kind of they're fighting you, but also the things that they're pulling out in the mission, the things that are happening. It's kind of like they have home terrain advantage, and I could see them doing that in an Otherworld too. Like they would like herd you into a special section of the derelict ship, and you end up having to fight a giant beast in there or something. Like they're not just savage, unthinking. They're very smart, clever snakes that are calculating how to take you down. Well, thank you so much, friends. Are there any final questions on the mission pack of what we have seen of it so far? Actually, let's do like one or two more little things. We were going to run into headhunters one more time probably, and so far we have seen their bladed shields, their trophy collectors, and their treetop hunters, but there are two more, so we'll look at one more and leave the other one to be unknown until we get it into our hands. Do you want to see Ruthless Hiss or Cold Dead Eyes? We'll see what chat says. Yeah, and I am interested to see what happens in these the missions to come, missions 3 and 4, how this like kind of this narrative arc goes. Like you are hunting beasts, then you ended up being hunted and herded by these guys, and then missions 3 and 4, kind of what's the conclusion to where does it go from there? I see a little bit of mission 3, but we'll save 3 and I don't. Yeah. Nobody in chat either. My screen might be frozen. I'm going to do a little refresh here. Oh, did it freeze a while ago? And everybody is. Will that mess anything up? Oh! Now I can't see any of the chatting. No. I missed the options. Did you say hiss or eyes? Okay, that's the first chat message I have. So no worries if no one was chatting and I missed it, but my screen was frozen over here and the chat hadn't said anything for a while. So your options for the last reveal are Ruthless Hiss and Cold Dead Eyes. So drop that in the chat if you want to see Ruthless Hiss versus Cold Dead Eyes for one of the traits. And then I will read you a little teaser. Won't tell you what happens in the mission, but the third mission is called Coiled to Strike. And it says, settling back in camp, you try to get some amount of rest, but you know that they are still out there just beyond the torchlight. You can hear hushed hissing on the wind and a faint rattle in the dark, glowing eyes that blink out when you turn to look. The only way to shake off these hunters might be to venture out into the night and scare them off, or at least face them head on. Whatever you do, it has to be better than waiting for them to strike again. Okay, so it looks like by the third mission, it is no longer hunted versus hunting. It looks like it's like a head-to-head. And I'm not going to get into how it works, but yeah, it looks like you start to take a stand, and it looks like it's building towards a big, an eventful fourth mission. Okay, we got Dead Eyes, we got Ruthless Hiss. Soundwolf says amazing miniatures. Yeah, these are Elian, the chief fabricator makes all the amazing 3D boards and does a lot of the paint jobs for our in-person Dice Fest convention that happens every fall in October. So I love his work. And it was great. I have no idea when these were painted or what the situation was, but it was great that they are available for us to see on stream during this. So I have a feeling it will be a while before we start seeing these in the wild. So it's very cool to see them ahead of time and start to get ideas for how to paint them and get a feel for how that mission pack miniature campaign would fit into our bigger narratives of the Swamp Valley of the Serpent King stuff that we're doing, or other things we're doing with our Fofo heroes or our Vikings. Okay, we got slightly more votes for the eyes. So we will see what Cold Dead Eyes. So I actually think, I wonder if Elian painted these to be Cold Dead Eyes, because these ones are like, they're like white glazed over. So it's like he's kind of painted these up as one of these traits. Cold Dead Eyes. Each Kobari headhunter has Fear 4 that only applies to the hero it is currently targeting. So you're fighting them, but like they're not even looking at you as they're fighting. They're just these 1,000-yard stare right through you as they go after Serpent style, come to take you down. Fear 4. So that would mean if you're targeting me, and if I have like one of them on me, I'm rolling 4 dice to try and stop my sanity. Or if I have 2 on that, I'm rolling 8. A hero starting their activation adjacent takes 4 horror hits. Interestingly enough, the Vikings would have a problem with this, because even though they have really good willpower, there's just so many tiny little hits that yeah, everybody else would have an even bigger issue. Sneaky, if you've got 1,000 ways to stop wounds, these guys still have a way to get through. And their normal version doesn't have any horror effects, not even in the elite chart. So this is a way for you who, if you think that they don't have a way through that, there's a way for it to pop up, and you are now on the ropes with horror when you have solved the health problem. Very cool. Thank you, friends. And we'll leave that last one to be exciting for when we tear open these boxes, when we eventually get them. I, too, am waiting for all the good stuff that will be coming along, and have so much to still enjoy as that happens. And then I didn't get to see all the live streams at the beginning, but I did see a few new items popping up and things that, yeah, even as I wait, there are ways to spice up my next couple adventures. I didn't get the 411 on those axe bearer guys, so I would be interested to know more about them. I did see, I do really like that swarm pack, how it like combos the 2 enemies and has a very interesting spawner. I'm liking, I've enjoyed what all like the kind of cool twists with those spawn paths on what they do to the enemies, especially how like the spiders stack. That has been cool. Yeah, and I'm a fan of all the card packs, because the more random and unique things that can happen are great. Well, I'm just going to chat and talk with chat as I clean up here. We are done a little bit early, but that is because the Kobari are ruthless and unyielding and did not let us get through most of the adventure. But I feel like we got the flavor and felt some pieces of it. So thanks for hanging out in chat, and hope the rest of your roll to move is amazing. Stick around if you want to gab, and have a great day if you don't. Brian Sharkey says, hopefully we can see some perilous expedition stuff at Gen Con. Love seeing the Kobari here at least. Thank Nix. Hope to see you at Dice Fest. Yes. I have many ideas how to paint them already. Dark cobras with purple soundwolf. Nice. And what is the boss version of a Kobari headhunter? You know, like the Inquisitor is the boss version of the Crimson Hand cultist. Ooh, interesting. Yeah, there's the Werewolf Packmaster, the Vampire Lord, the Banner Bearer, the I can't remember what the Hellfire Witch leader is called. Yeah, and the Inquisitor of the Crimson Hand cultists. Like I said, I'm not being coy when I say this stuff fell off a truck, and so it's incomplete. There's only pieces. I was not given everything and told to only show pieces. I was given only some pieces and told to have fun and enjoy sharing that. So I'm sharing what I have and what I know, but I, like you, I'm in the dark on something. So I had totally forgotten. Yeah, there's been a leader with the other 6 mission packs, and there's 3 new mission packs coming: the Kobari Headhunters, the Promethean Defenders, which I'm fascinated by, and then the they're not the Royal Foundry. They are, vocabulary's going, Royal, Elite. I see them. They have furs. They have 3 eyes. They are Treetop monarchy. Woo. And so, yeah, so I don't know if these 3 new mission packs will have a leader spot. I can only assume. Everything else so far has been. The other, I don't know if there's, does somebody in the chat know if map tile pack, typically these also have a map pack with them. Not a map pack, a map tile with them. So there's like 1 map tile. But I know between, like, it has been a long time from one to the other, and I know like different things affect stuff, like costs and production and things like that. So for me, the great part is that mini campaign and the ability to use that enemy spices up everything, but then also being able to theme missions with that enemy. So I don't know if the map tile pack is still part of it, but or a map tile being involved is still part of it. But encounters are definitely. Oh yeah, let's read one more encounter because we only saw 2 of those, I think. Bog mist. Ooh. A yellow mist swirls about your legs. You press down deeper into the unknown. Before you realize it, the fog is up to your chest and has grown thick to the point that you can no longer see your feet. As it rises to your face, your eyes begin to water and the smell is nearly unbearable. Models on this map tile may not targeted or be targeted by models more than 2 spaces away. At the start of each turn, every hero on this map tile takes 1 wound, ignoring defense, cover, and armor. Nice. So Wild West heroes who think they're going to shoot their way out, yeah, you are now having to get right up next to these snakes in the mist. And that slow drip, drip, drip of the wounds. People that have great defense solves, this will still trap you, especially if you're having to go through this map tile in a combat. Cool. A few others are called Eerie Silence, Broken Eggs, and Skull Chimes. Bog mist. Thank you, Nick. Hoping we see the Queen in the Monarchy pack. Ooh, that's a good point, because the Treetop monarchy is supposed to protect the Queen. That was like their whole thing, and that, like, isn't she in hiding or something? And it's like they're underground, or is she alive? I'm not up on my lore. I'm not recent. I was told the leader of the Treetop Iron Swords is the guard captain. Okay, so the Treetop monarchy pack potentially has a guard captain as the lead. But yeah, the Queen would be fun to see, or even if she's not in that pack, if she shows up at some point. Yeah. Oh, the encounter that turns the next death event into 1s is great. Yeah, I think that is clever too, where it's not, now suddenly there's a 1 in 6 chance every time you roll to hold back the darkness that you've heard them coming in the distance. I also like just the increase in difficulty. I noticed that this was tricky for these level 1 heroes, but at the point where you're buying a mission pack, you're wanting to, like, okay, and in the point where you're getting a mini campaign, 4 campaigns is a really nice length. Like, you play 1 or maybe 2 the first time you hang out, and then you have 2 other sessions where you do mission 2, mission 3. Like, yeah, that feels like a nice chunk. I've played the Viking one so many times, all the way through, like missions 1 through 8, and like the different little things that matter in one that affect another, and the option to go back and, you know, do a hunt or something to, like, increase your chances for something. So that one I have played through so many times. I wonder if I had played it through more than other people. I had the advantage that at that point in life I was on staff with the Frogs, and so I was, yeah, a lot of my world was connected to that, and I had some extra time that I got to put into that. But I haven't been able to do as many campaigns since I have switched jobs. But yeah, I really like the length of those as like a big, long experience where you can get a hero all the way up to like level 3 or 4 by the end of it. And especially if you throw in those map pack campaign missions at the front, or do a special mission somewhere in your 8-mission campaign, you definitely get to like feel your hero go all the way to the end, and feel your camp get just about to that point where you're like, okay, at this point we'd be starting to work on some of those really big, longer things, but you get to unlock most of the things and push into one section or another. So I really like that 8 mission arc for that. But these 4 are really great, especially if your group isn't going to meet as regularly, or you don't have like a whole weekend to push through something like this. This is much more. I could see doing one of these in a weekend, like getting together Friday night, playing again on Saturday, wrapping up Sunday or something like that, or over the course of 2 weekends or something, or long weekend, 3-day weekend, something like that. Chat says, why would the queen expose herself on the battlefield and practically get killed? She should stay safe. Yeah, so stay down, stay hidden. Yeah, interesting, because she's kind of like a political, more dangerous politically than in the. And then I recall the queen escaped into the mountains after the monarchy king. Oh, that king was killed during the rebellion, so she's biding her time. Okay, maybe she. Need to build her some cool suit. Nick saying yes, and all weekends. I've always wanted to do that, where it's just like, let's see, like play continuously. How far through a campaign can you get without breaking? Or like, eating meals and doing everything at the same time, but like just getting some people who have all played before and who want to see how far they can go. There's definitely like an endurance piece to it, because it's such a rich experience and there's so many little options, especially the camp. Oh, don't get me. I just love visiting camp. I think it really turns this game into a gem when the stuff that you do in one section matters and enables other stuff to happen. And as soon as you finish in one area, you're like, oh yeah, look, this gold and darkstone I just got, I really want to use it in camp. But camp isn't just like shopping on a list. It's this whole experience of like, oh, that thing I wanted is closed today, or let's go on a raid together to try and get resources, and oh, here's like weird little things happening, or even just going to the doctor and getting healed takes me time and effort and costs me days in camp, which increases the amount of danger the longer I stay. So yeah, I really like that about this, where it's a more involved in between experience, but I think it creates amazing story, and it's like a different game. It's like 2 different ways of experiencing and enjoying these characters and their skills and abilities. Some of them work really well in town, or really, really matter, especially if you're, like pumping up certain skill stats in Vikings and all going on raids together. You can collect some serious resources, and do some fun stuff, which then helps you later. Whereas some heroes are really amazing on the battlefield, but in town they are not as they don't get as much mileage. Yeah, the Devil's Wheel and Darkstone Pachinko are always a hit. Yeah, and every group has some kind of little game or thing in it that you can get into. There's a really fun one in the Treedarin. I can't remember the Treedarin. Yeah, the Treedarin Strike Team pack. That camp has a little fun mini game in it too. Okay, gonna do it. All right, well, I'm just gonna clean up and keep chatting with chat. Have a great day, and we'll just do a long, slow fade here for those of you who are drifting off to dreamland and wanting to hear the melodious sounds of light Brimstone chit-chat as you head into your hopefully deep and peaceful sleep. Yeah, the amount of chanting around the wheel in town when you're getting excited, and even just that there's a skill component to it. Like I start to like get better at throwing the dice just so that they can like bounce back off the wheel. It's like a fun dexterity game in the middle of it. It's also fun that like, yeah, multiple people going there at the same time. It's not just the person who's at the wheel that gets the bonus. I used to teach gold rush tours in Alaska, like the Klondike Gold Rush up there, and so there was a lot of like gambling halls, and there were like combination hotel, gambling hall, saloons, the Palace Grand, the Pavilion, the bunch of historic ones. So I tried to do a little bit of research into gambling at the time and who were like any big names or big events. And there's some really fascinating stories that come out of that. But I was fascinated to hear that sometimes people would, just like in this game where like the people at the gambling hall are kind of involved in the game even though they're not at the table. There's people who would sit back and they would just watch someone play because it was entertaining to see that. But there would be people who were betting on the people who were betting. So you would be watching people at a poker table playing, and then you would be like off to the side, like making bets about who would take the hand or what would happen. Or so like there wasn't just betting on the game. There was betting on the game that betting was happening in. So you could basically say that this person was a better poker player than that person, and you were trying to make money off the fact that somebody else was good at poker, not you. Which mission did I like more? I think that first mission is more replayable to me, but I really like. Yeah, I think I would have liked the second one better had I done better in town. The fact that I had such a poor town setup going into that, because it's like the second mission in a campaign, so I should have a little more resources. I shouldn't be going into. I had no healing except for the herbs that the Jaguar Warrior had, so that made it rough. I feel like with a little more spunk from town on my hero's side, and if I had gotten them both to level up, at a key point where they kind of had that push, I feel like that mission would have been fun because you keep going, keep finding different traps. And the Kobari are fun to fight. Like they're not impossible to take down, but there's turns where you feel like, oh, I was not very effective, and other turns where you feel like, yeah, I got him real good. So it doesn't feel like, oh, I kind of know how this round is going to go. Like it feels like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to push damage at all, or oh, maybe I can get one of them off the table. Yeah, and then depending on how they do against me as an Aztec, especially, like I get to save my rerolls and stuff for the back and forth. So I think I would. I think I like the second one better. I really like the charts when there's different things that can happen, and the fact that you can run into a high level, an unreasonable problem. Actually, that's interesting that you can't flee that mission, but you do get thrown up against something that could be unreasonably large. So that feels really fun to me because most of the time I like the fact that in Brimstone, and a lot of games I play, like I think, well, the designer play tested this mission, and so clearly there's, if I do it right, there's a way to win, which is fun because you're like trying to solve and figure out what to do and how to approach it. But it does take some of it out for me where instead of feeling this true sense of overwhelming, I am like, well, there's probably a way out of this, you know, like I just have to find it. I just have to be smart enough. But with Brimstone, you're often presented moments where you're like, well, this hero is good at these things and these enemies are good at that things, or I've been thrown two enemies at the same time, or an enemy who's larger. So there's true moments of like, I need to make the right evaluation to flee or not, to like use resources or not. And so like there's these real challenges where it's not someone having made these gates and problem points that you have to solve in the order that they did. It's like these are real organic, unique experiences that won't happen again and that you have to evaluate. So yeah, so I think that would happen more often in the second mission where you have these fun traps going off at the same time as enemies or not when enemies are there, depending on which token is coming up. I would want to do it with the bigger range of exploration tokens because I like even more. With the 8, I know that 50% of them have clue tokens on it. When you move it up to the 12 pack or the 8 and 12 being a 20 pack for the exploration tokens, then I really don't know when the next clue is coming. And in missions that don't require you to find clues, that's really fun for me because then clues like are unique and interesting, and I'm not trapped in this thing where it's like, well, I need to find 3 clues to get to the end, but I have a higher variation, so it might be, you know, too many exploration tokens before I even find clues. So in a situation like that where the clues aren't my trigger for the end, but instead doorways are, and so then I could have some in the original sets have 3 doorway icons. So I think I would do the second mission with either the 12 exploration tokens or the 20 exploration tokens. And I would, yeah, so I think I like the second mission better. But I see what the first mission is doing in terms of making it so that you can cut it to whatever length you want, and then also giving you rewards. Mission 3, I guess I will tease. Mission 3 says, there's a part that says, knowledge of the surroundings. At the start of the adventure, place a number of grit tokens into the pool near the depth track, equal to the total number of clues that have been found so far during this mission pack campaign. So during the adventure, any hero may use grit from the pool as though it were in their own, and note that this grit is never added to the pool once the adventure begins. So depending on how many clues I have found earlier in the campaign, we now have grit to be like, okay, I know more about their tactics. I've seen more of the countryside. We're now digging in and getting their enemies coiled to strike, but we're coiled to strike too. Okay, based on the work that I've done up till now, I have a better chance. I have more grit to use in this mission to assist me in my pushback against the enemy. So I like that payoff, and I like how the first mission, you can get out of there squeaky clean after 1 clue, no problem, no Kobari. But then later on, it's like, okay, but I have less free grit to spend in mission 3. And this is my favorite. While there are fewer grit in this pool than the heroes in the hero party, all Kobari Headhunter enemies are +1 damage on their attacks, and +2 instead if there is no grit in the pool. So if you are especially poor or you burn through that grit trying to survive, eventually the Kobari in this mission are stronger. So it's this fun risk reward of like, okay, you have these grits, they can help you fight, but if you use them all, it gets more dangerous, and that grit is based on the amount of clues you've found up to this point. So yeah. Yeah, and I mentioned that a little bit in the first one, and in the second one, like that it matters how many clues you find and stuff. But I like how there's payoff towards the end of the campaign and things that have happened already. So. Good question. Alphabetizing after 7 hours of straight gameplay is always a challenge. You might ask, why haven't I ended the stream? But this is part of the Roll to Move experience. In real life, you get to like hang out while you clean up the game and have that light chit chat. So this is just not wanting to rob you of all the great things you do in person when you are playing with others. I know there's a lot of preview games going on this weekend too. And I think there's been enough preview games of the Lost Tombs of Commentat that people are starting to form opinions about those heroes, like which ones they like, which starting upgrades they like. So that's fun that there have been enough games at Roll to Move and Dice Fest now or at Gen Con or wherever they've been slowly letting some of that material get used and played and participated in with the community. It's fun to have those things slowly before everybody gets to enjoy it at their own pace, to have like little opinions and ideas start coming out so that you get a hint of what they're going to be like in the long term. How have I been? What do you do now after the frogs? How have I been? Well, sure. We can have a little what's Ethan up to moment. I have had the opportunity this year to work at a private school with middle school students. So I was very fortunate that there was an assistant teacher position open. I had been doing one of my other superpowers, which is bus driving. So I've done bus driving in tourism and travel in Alaska before. So I have 10 seasons of that under my belt. But I was doing some city bus driving, which was a new thing, and then felt like I should get back into one of my other passions in life, which is working with youth and students and connecting with that piece. And so switched back over to education. And found that amazing job where I got to, it was very just a gourmet, neat experience. Seven middle school students, and I was the assistant teacher in the classroom, and I got to work with them all this year. And yeah, really, really neat campus and setup. Still very challenging, you know, like anyone who works in education knows, it's a lot of energy, it's a lot of time. And you're working with students who are growing in all pieces, not just in terms of knowledge and education, but their social skills and their kind of life direction and but I had a really interesting year and good. So that is starting to wrap up. We are headed into the summer where I'll get to work with a summer camp associated with the same school. And so I'll be able to work with a whole new group of students in the summer, and then in the fall we'll head back out of the school and I'll be in a different classroom next year. So that is happening. Gaming wise, I've gotten to do some Shadows of Brimstone. Been able to hang out with my brothers and connect and do some fun gaming there. I've been teaching little, there's a community gaming event that happens once a month in our area down in Redmond. And so I have not, because of my school schedule, been able to get to it, but it's kind of like a 1 day a month. You just get to go down and hang out, and there's a board game library and gaming's available. So Fun First Productions, or Fun First is hosts it, and it's called All Day Gaming. There's a Facebook group that goes with it, so it's just all day gaming, 1 day a month. You can go down and bring your game or grab a library or find who's there, and there's some people who are playtesting games and connected to different communities. So it's kind of a neat crossroads of like different groups of people, but all kind of surrounding around gaming. You can, you can't always have a full weekend to go away to do something, but we all in that board game world get that itch to play something, so or just to hang out and play. And it's that, where do we go to play, and who's available to play, and how much time is there? So having a space where once a month there's like, okay, there's going to be people who are there and open to gaming for an extended amount of time, and there's a place, and there's plenty of room, and it's well lit, and there's a board game library, and you can come and go, and there's food. Yeah, so all day gaming is kind of a good thing that is trending over here. Am I teaching history? I have not been teaching history. I taught a lot of math, middle school math, and then we did some literature this year. There's a really interesting book called Hotel on the Corner of Bitter and Sweet. I teach in a school that's near Seattle, and the imprisonment of Japanese Americans during World War II is the subject of the book, and it's told through the eyes of a Chinese American youth who is friends with a Japanese American girl. And it's kind of a coming of age story, but also closely follows like what happened. So seeing those events, that injustice play out on like a week and month basis in the book, instead of, you get told like this fact happened in history, but like, what was the community like? What happens in the community? What were all the different phases of that? And what does it feel like? And to work through that with the students, and then be able to go on a field trip to downtown Seattle, to Nihonmachi, and these places that existed or don't exist because of what had happened, and see some art displays based on that. So that was one of our fun projects, was to work through all the things that you do in terms of learning about literature and how to interpret it and how to write essays on it and things like that with that book. But I got to dive into that piece of history, and more a local, like a Seattle version of that history there too. So yeah, but I did, well, ironically, we were also doing Washington State history, and I came in mid-year, and one of the first weeks I was there, they said, okay, we're doing like the population growth in Washington State, which is affected by railroads. It was affected by immigration. It was also affected by the Klondike Gold Rush of 1898, when everybody came across the United States and came through Seattle and Vancouver and San Francisco to go up to. I was like, I'd like to, I can do a little presentation on that one. So it was really funny. It was like week one. It's like, give me something that I have 8 to 10 hours of material worth of, and like, how would you condense this down into a short middle school appropriate presentation that just gets the highlights and supports kind of where it is in the context of Washington State history. So that was fun. Okay, well, hey, thanks for chatting, everybody. I'm realizing that I'm cleaning less and talking more, so I'm going to get on with the rest of my day, and I hope the rest of your roll to move is good. Thanks for hanging out, and yeah, we'll see you as we hit the new things that are coming up, and as we see people for I will continue to participate virtually with checking in on Gen Con and Dice Fest and all that. So looking forward to it.